Hey, 6th grade. This is your science unit 2 test. And here we go. This is number 1. Which of the following is not an element? Helium, nitrogen, water, sodium. Okay. Number 2. Carbon is to living matter what blank is to the atmosphere. And then up here you have something to use for this question. Living matter, oceans, atmosphere. This is a triple Venn diagram, and it's comparing what each item, like living matter, the main idea, oceans, another main idea, and atmosphere. One, what they have all in common would be this. And then what they, say living matter and atmosphere, they'd have this and this in common. Living matter and oceans have this and this in common. It's where the two circles overlap. If all three of them overlap in one place, like here, that's what all three of them have in common. So we have carbon, phosphorus, sulfur, hydrogen, sodium, chlorine, oxygen, nitrogen. These are two different things, sodium and chlorine. So again, carbon is the living matter. So living matter, there's carbon. Blank is to the atmosphere. That would be Na, H, Cl, and N. You need to see what those represent up here. Don't forget you can use your notes. Ow, paper cut. Alright then. Which of the following statements are characteristics of an element? Made from a mixture, a pure substance, represented by a symbol, and make up matter on Earth. Number 4. A limited number of the many known elements comprise the largest portion of living matter. Group A, B, C, D, and then the elements. Group A is calcium, phosphorus, oxygen, sulfur. B is cobalt, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. C is helium, oxygen, sulfur, carbon. D is hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon. And the question says, which group of elements above comprises the largest portion of living matter? Comprises means is made up of. So which group of elements above makes up the largest portion of living matter? So you need to use your journal again on this test as reference, because you have a periodic table and you have a couple other reference charts that you can use in your journal. Just like on the star, you'll be able to use the periodic table in 8th grade. Which element is found, this is number 5, which element is found in the ocean and the atmosphere? Sodium, nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen. Which element is found in the ocean and the atmosphere? Think about the ocean, think about the atmosphere. What do they have in common? Use the test to look back at or forward in. Look at the test, because there's other questions that will help you out on other questions sometimes. Or use your journal. The human body's mass consists of 4 major elements as shown below. We have hydrogen, 10%, nitrogen, nitrogen 3%, other 3%, oxygen 61%, and then 23% that's not listed. Which of the following elements is represented by 23% on the pie graph above? Is it calcium, carbon, cobalt, copper? Again, journal. The Earth's atmosphere is number 7. The Earth's atmosphere consists of a limited number of elements as shown below. Oxygen, 21%. Argon and other things, 1% right there. And then 78% is this huge portion here. Which of the following elements is represented by 78% on the pie graph above? Is it carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, or helium? Which of the following correctly represents an element? An element. Water, which is H2O. Copper, which is C, lowercase u. Carbon monoxide, CO. Or salt, which is NaCl. A limited number of the many known elements comprise the largest portion of oceans. Group A, B, C, and D. The elements are seen here. It says, which group of elements above comprises the largest portion of oceans? Okay. A, oxygen, hydrogen, sodium, chlorine. B, nitrogen, oxygen, argon, carbon. C, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon, or hydrogen. D, oxygen, silicon, aluminum, iron. So which group of elements above comprises the largest portion of oceans? Now this is awkward. This right here is used on question number 10. You may have to flip to do this, okay? So, sorry. This is masses. I'll just read this. Masses of the 5 main elements in the human body. Oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, all others. Masses of the 5 elements in the earth. Silicon, aluminum, or aluminium, as some people say. Iron, calcium, others, and oxygen. I'm going to use that for question number 10. Which element is found in abundance, that means a lot of, in the human body, but is not found in the abundance in the earth? So you'll look back at those 2 pictures or graphs. Oxygen, carbon, calcium, or silicon. Which element, on number 11, which element is found in abundance both in the human body and in the earth? So again, you'll use those 2 pictures to answer number 11 as well too. Oxygen, carbon, calcium, and silicon. You'll look back at this and I'll show it one more time. Those 2 right there. Number 12. Which model shown above best represents the element neon as a gas? Neon as a gas. Model A, B, C, or D? Whenever a question says best, you need to think about how can I show this the best way possible. The following is a chemical equation that represents the law of conservation of mass. So we have this chemical equation right here. Don't get overwhelmed. The question is much simpler. Okay? Which substance in the above equation is represented by an element? Which substance in the above equation is represented by an element? Okay. Is it CO? Is it H2? Is it C8, H18? Or is it H2O? Which substance in the above equation is represented by an element? it. Wait, let me double check. Yep, that's it.